Hello, everyone, and welcome to this live simul stream here on ColorCast and on youtube.com/Langer at the mic for the Montreal Canadiens taking on the New Jersey Devils here on Thursday night. We're about to get started in just a couple of moments for puck drop. And yeah, just as usual, look, I'll be doing this alone for today, but we will play our Tankathon games at the intermission. I'll talk a little bit more about my thoughts on the prospects that I looked at, or the top prospects of Logan Cooley, Uri Slavkovsky, and whatnot. So we'll talk a little bit more about them at the intermission. Maybe play some Cap Geek, why not? And yeah, we're looking forward to having a good broadcast here. And thank you as usual for joining. As the Canadiens look, with the loss 6-3 against the Ottawa Senators last week, that keeps them in last place. I believe they're tied at the moment with Arizona for last, which they are indeed tied with Arizona. Seattle is 1 point above them, and each of the three teams, Arizona, Montreal, and Seattle, have all played 70 games. So with 12 teams to go in the season, the race for last place is heating up. But also New Jersey is at 54 points. So this is another game where you're cheering for the Canadiens. You're cheering for a good, fun, entertaining game, but you're also ideally not winning this game. So you could stay at the bottom of the standings, of course. So that will be our mindset, or my mindset. Let me know if you think differently, because I, as usual, want to hear what you think, and I want to talk about whether or not we should be cheering for the Canadiens to win or lose. So, yeah, let us know in the comment section as to who you are cheering for. Just setting my windows the way I want them to be over here as well. Something like that. X in there. Forgot that Lindy Ruff is still in the NHL. I forgot that last time the Habs played the Devils, and I had to remind myself that Lindy Ruff, a longtime head coach, is indeed still in the NHL. But he's going strong. Still going strong. I think he's I feel like he's in that group of head coaches that is like kind of at this point kind of dinosaur-ish. But anyway, we're about to drop the puck here between the Habs and the Devils. It looks like it's the Hoffman line starting with Evans, and Evans wins the faceoff. We are off. The Devils wearing their blacks today, interestingly enough. And we are off in New Jersey between the Habs and the Devils. Here's Josh Anderson right down the left wing, and a quick shot on the backhand gets stopped by goaltender Andrew Hammond, the former Montreal Canadian, getting his start in goal for the Devils today. So that'll be a fun storyline to follow, of course. And yeah. Ooh, one sec. Just want to make sure that this is working properly, which it is. Might be just make sure I'm on time. I think I'll have to watch it a little bit more on a delay here, but that's okay. Sorry, I just have to catch back up here. All right, there we go. All set. So face-off is to Andrew Hammond's right side. Jake Evans on the draw. He loses it, though. There's a PK Subban throwing it up the half wall, taken by Corey Schoeneman. Schoeneman D to D to his partner, David Savard. Getting to start with David Savard today. And the puck is flipped in on Andrew Hammond. He just leaves it there for Subban. Subban up the half wall for Jesper Bratt. Now down the left wing. You have left in by Sharangovich, taken by Montreal behind the line. And the clearing attempt is intercepted by Nico Hischier. Hischier setting things up. Hischier into the corner. And back out in front, but could not be handled. And the puck makes its way all the way back to the Devils zone. And here's Patrick Rush cheering on for Canada. Welcome in, Patrick Rush, to our cast. Patrick will get you on the hot seat of the commercial break if you'd like. Allen takes the clearing attempt, or stops the clearing attempt, leaves it for Suzuki. Suzuki being watched there on the forecheck, and it now is taken by Rem Pitlick, who just chips it into the Devils zone. Taken by Jonas Sinkenthaler. Sinkenthaler rims it around the boards and out all the way down the ice, which will go the distance for an icing by the Devils. That's this. There we go. Just making sure we close the things. Okay, good. All right, so again, first 2 minutes in, not much action thus far in this one. I was cheering on the Canadians, but cheering for our NATO ally to the north works too. Appreciate the support for both there, Patrick. Really appreciate it. Face-off is won by the Canadians, but the Devils jump in on it real quick, get it out to center. Now here's Romanov backpedaling, goes D to D across to Joel Edmondson. Edmondson ahead to Pitlick. Pitlick has to stop, throws it to Caulfield. Here's Cole Caulfield. Caulfield can't quite get by all three Devils there. Romanov jumps in, shoots it on net, stopped by Hammond with the blocker. And now Severson can't quite find it, but his teammate Yanni Kukkonen finds it. And now here comes down the left wing, and up the middle is Jesper Boqvist. Boqvist with the shot deflects off a stick and out of play for a face-off to the right of Jake Allen. And we're looking at Yanni Kuokinen. I'm watching again on a center ice package here. The Devils feed today instead of the usual TSN or RDS feed. Maybe I'll change to the RDS feed at one of the commercials or intermissions. Either way, face-off is won by the Devils. D to D, and a shot gets deflected wide. Now taken in the corner there by Kuokkanen. I have to get that name right. It gets deflected off of Jake Allen's stick. And out to center comes Montreal. And a deflection or the clearing into the Devils zone. Taken there by the Devils, but Armia jumps in on the forecheck, throws it behind the net. And shot pass from the point by Gallagher is stick down and cleared ahead. A little too far there for AJ Greer now in the Canadian zone behind Allen's net. Gallagher has it across to Chris Weidman back in the lineup and flipped out to the center by Tyler Pitlick. Tyler Pitlick ahead to Ryan Poehling, but loses it. Devils take it. Thrown back out to the neutral zone. A little too far. No icing because of the deflection. Schoenemann on it behind Allen's net. Cale Clegg also back in the net in the lineup for the Canadians. Kept in by Subban in the Canadians line. Now, quick shot in front gets blocked. And another shot this time. Stopped by Allen. Rebound is given up, but taken by Tyler Pitlick. Tyler Pitlick to the opposite side to Ryan Poehling over the Devils line. Poehling to Pitlick. Pitlick just can't quite get a shot off as Ty Smith does a good job poke checking it. Kept in at the line there by Ylonen. Shot towards the net gets handled by the Devils and cleared back out to the Canadian zone. Here's Jake Evans now settling things down, turning things the other way. Jake Evans backpedals for a sec, but has to get it away from Sharangovich. He forces a turnover. And now here's Damon Severson. Can't quite break the Canadians' defense. And Hoffman now giving chase of the puck at the red line. Turn back the other way. Puck cleared into the Canadian zone. Anderson gets to it first. And Nico Hischier on it now. Hischier. Shot gets blocked by Corey Schoenemann. Evans throws it to the right wing to Mike Hoffman. Mike Hoffman delays. Dumps it into the Devils zone. Out to play it is Andrew Hammond. Sets it up for Severson. Severson out ahead to Hischier. Hischier off with the shot pass deflection into the Canadian zone. Devils go for a change. Taken now by Joel Edmondson. Edmondson with a pass to Romanov. Romanov delays in front of Pavel Zacha. Zacha putting the forecheck on Edmondson. He gets it to Romanov. Romanov back behind the net to Edmondson and out to Caulfield. Caulfield handles it. Now over the Devils line to Pitlick. Rem Pitlick across to Suzuki. The quick shot. He scores! Nick Suzuki gives the Canadians the 1-0 lead here early in the first period. What a play there. And Suzuki, honestly, what I loved by Nick Suzuki on that goal is he just found the soft spot as the third man over there and just really with not only the nice shot by Andrew Hammond to beat him, but he did a great job finding that soft spot because it looked like, I think it was Michael McLeod who converged onto Rem Pitlick, the puck carrier. He did not pick up Suzuki. He was left wide open, and he just caught it, shot it, beat Andrew Hammond to the glove side, and the Canadians are up 1-0. 19 goals now for Nick Suzuki as Armia throws it in behind Hammond. Can't handle it. Subban across to his partner Ty Smith. Jumping in is Edmondson to hold the zone along the half wall. Gets rimmed around to Romanov's side now. In the corner, Subban, Gallagher, and Armia fighting for it. It is taken by Ty Smith. Pushes it ahead, but too far. Kept in by the Canadians. And won by Armia behind the net. In front, shot by Dvorak, gets deflected. Up and out of play for a whistle. Nice little forechecking shift there by Armia and Dvorak. Dvorak's shot, though, just off a stick in front and out of play. So again, the Canadians striking first, less than 5 minutes into the first period. And yeah, just again, it was a really nice looking goal by Nick Suzuki and greatly set up by Rem Pitlick and Cole Caulfield, of course. Now here's Poehling to take the faceoff. He loses it. It is won by Michael McLeod. And now here comes Andreas Janssen. His pass is a little bit too far for AJ Greer, but he takes it back. Janssen with a shot gets deflected out in front by Cale Clegg. Canadians back the other way. But it is taken by Jonas Siegenthaler, almost blocked at the Devils line, and now back through center come the Devils with Michael McLeod, but Cale Clegg is able to recover it, throws it ahead to Tyler Pitlick and out off the wall. Jesse Ilonen, nice voice crack there. Ilonen gets knocked off the puck, though, and the Devils throw it back into the Canadian zone going for a change. And Chris Weidman will just settle things down behind the net and start the rush the other way. And now a quick pass out up ahead to Josh Anderson down the right wing side over the Devils line, but stick checked back to the neutral zone. Anderson had a chance to chase it down, can't quite get to it. Devils enter the Canadians line. That's Jesper Bratt gets knocked off the puck, though. And behind the line, that is Sharangovich, but his pass gets intercepted by Hoffman, and the Canadians will skate out with it. Pass for Schoenemann is a little bit too long. He has to double back into his own zone across for David Savard. Savard up ahead to Hoffman. Looks like, it doesn't look like Jordan Harris is in the lineup tonight, nor is Barron. Barron is out because of an injury, as is Paul Byron. Schoenemann is in the corner now. Schoenemann battling with a couple of Devils. Schoenemann still there in the corner. Schoenemann can't quite come out with it. Although Evans the shot, they score! Deflected in front by Josh Anderson. The Canadians take a 2-0 lead. It might have been deflected by Josh Anderson, but either way, Jake Evans, his shot finds Twine, and the Canadians, again, take the 2-0 lead. It looks like it's going to go to Jake Evans, but that was Schoenemann won the battle in the corner with two other Devils between Ryan Graves and Sharangovich, and Evans has shot it, and I don't think it deflected. It just made its way through traffic. It was a seeing eye shot through traffic. Didn't seem threatening, but man, it just found its way not only through the traffic, but to the perfectly placed shot to the right, top left corner above Hammond's glove, and it was indeed deflected, but by a Devil, not by Josh Anderson. So that means that Evans will get credit for the goal, and the Canadians are now more comfortably up 2-0, but it's obviously still the first period, adding to their lead here early on in the first. So maybe the Canadians will actually win this game. I mean, they have to hold on to the 2-0 lead, of course, and they have a whole hockey game left to play here. Tatar back to the defense. It's Severson throwing it ahead now to Tatar. Tatar over the Habs line to Severson. Shot pass into the corner intended for Dawson Mercer. Pass in front. They score! Thomas Tatar, the former Montreal Canadian, narrows the lead or the deficit for the Devils to 2-1 as we got 3 goals here in the first 7 minutes already of this hockey game. We got a good one here regardless. Tomas Tatar, dare I say. Even though he's still a Devil, we could still say Tomas Tatar, because why not? I don't know if that shot pass, that was by design, but either way, Tatar was left wide open in the slot. I think it looked like Edmondson and Romanov just overcommitted to the puck going behind the net. Suzuki was a little bit late to cover him, and that's one thing I want to see more from Nick Suzuki. He is produced offensively, and he is rounding himself into a two-way player, but he has to be better at defensive zone coverage, as the pass in front is a little bit out of reach for Dvorak. Now here's Kill Clay. We'll get to finish my point on Suzuki in a second. Gallagher flips it in. But yeah, Nick Suzuki, I just find that in transition on the defensive zone coverage, at picking guys up in front, he has to be a little bit more consistent. He does it well sometimes, but he needs to do it more enough and more effectively, although that was a bit of a quick transition type of play. But you want Nick Suzuki to get that coverage going there as Jesper Bokovic wins the pass in the corner. The shot on net is stopped by Allen. Rebound is loose, and Allen has to make another really nice save after giving up that initial rebound. He covers up for a whistle, but a really nice chance there for the Devils but it stays. Zetterlund had a chance on the doorstep there, but it stays a 2-1 game after the first commercial break. But yeah, just 1 second. We're at the commercial break. Yeah, Devils with a nice other chance there as we welcome in number one dad to the cast as well. Let's get Patrick on the hot seat right now for a couple of minutes. We'll give you about 4 there, Patrick. Yeah, sorry, just was waiting for the commercial break there, Patrick. If you're get him on here in a second. If he's still, he might have made that request a couple minutes ago, but yeah, just Patrick. Now's you come join now during the commercial break. If not, actually, you could come in during the intermission if you would like. There we go. Perfect. But yeah, either way, very exciting first period. Very back and forth thus far. Perhaps I shouldn't have said that the Canadians hold a comfortable 2-0 lead or a more comfortable 2-0 lead. Perhaps I should not have said that. But I did, for better or for worse. And it is 2-1. Oh, I have to update the ticker here as well. I have to edit this over here. There we go. Good. Cool. But yeah, obviously Caulfield continues his point per game pace as well. Ooh, Bryce Salvador giving a little report there for the Devils. Former Devil staying in the organization or staying with their with MSG, their media coverage team, to give a little ringside report right there. So I always like seeing former players stay in the media and give sideline coverage, kind of like Mark Denis, I guess, to the Canadians. And what do you think of these Devils jerseys? These black pinstripe Devils jerseys. I like the black. I don't know if I love the pinstripes and the Devils written across them, but let me know what you think in the comment section as the Canadians win the defensive zone faceoff. Here's Alonen now over the Devils line, throws it behind the net, taken by Dougie Hamilton across to Ryan Graves, and not quite out, kept in by Savard. The shot goes wide. There's Tyler Pitlick, flips it behind the net, but no Canadian is able to recover. It is flipped out by AJ Greer, but Corey Schoeneman sends it to Savard now in the neutral zone and in the Canadian zone, backpedaling. The Canadians just making some changes for their forward lines. Now Savard delays, throws it over the blue line, intercepted by the Devils, and now back the other way, intercepted by Savard. And now here comes Hoffman over the Devils line. Hoffman with a quick shot, stopped by Hammond. Rebound is loose in front, and Hammond has to make another stop on a shot that was, or a puck that was trickling towards him. Canadian cycle in the corner now. Evans to the point to Romanov, D to D to Edmondson. Edmondson shot is just a little wide. Might have been a shot pass, but it goes wide. Jesper Bratt back behind the net to Graves, and out all the way down the ice. And Allen is out to play it I don't think there was an icing there. Hoffman over the Devils line. Hoffman, nice pass for Josh Anderson. Can't quite handle it. If he did, he would have had a great scoring chance. Battling the corners, Sharangovich and company. Won by the Canadians. Evans to the point to Romanov. Romanov shoots off of a skate, and that stung Nico Hischier as he goes off the bench in a bit of discomfort there. Romanov goes D to D back now in the Canadian zone to Edmondson. Back to Romanov and out to Caulfield. Caulfield stick handling through the zone. His pass across to Pitlick. Pitlick flips it behind the Devils net. Right on it is Siegenthaler, and the Devils get it out to center. Chris Weidman will chase it down, give it D to D to Clegg, and out to Caulfield. Caulfield flips it into the Devils zone. Behind the net is Severson. Backhand pass to Pavel Zacha. Long stretch pass intended for Tatar. Doesn't quite get there. Allen out of his net, though. And all the way out down the ice for an icing on the Montreal Canadiens as Subban touches it up after the whistle. So we'll have a face-off in the Canadian zone. And interestingly enough, we're going to get sports betting in Ontario as it's already been legal for a while in the U.S., which is pretty cool or interesting to see a sports bet or an odds lower third that says the odds on the winner and what picks to make, yada yada. Anyway, Devils win the offensive zone faceoff for them. Tatar gets it, but loses it to Suzuki. Suzuki backhands it into the neutral zone. Now Tatar on it. Tatar throws it behind Chris Weidman. Weidman chases it down, being chased by Dawson Mercer up the half wall. Intercepted by Subban, but taken back by Chris Weidman. His pass across makes its way to Pitlick, and Pitlick will send it back to Cale Clegg across to Chris Weidman. And Chris Weidman will take it just behind Jake Allen's net as the Canadiens will go off for some changes. And Weidman, long pass ahead for Armia to Dvorak. Dvorak over the Devils line. Leaves it for Schoenemann. Schoenemann's shot gets deflected into the corner by Hammond. And now the Devils turn back the other way with Jesper Boqvist. Boqvist over the Canadiens line now. Maybe offside. Yeah, it was offside. So a bit of a delayed whistle there. Might have been in reaction to one of the Canadiens players there. But either way, it stays 2-1 here for the Canadiens as they go to the commercial break. Just give me one quick second here. So sorry about that. Basically, 2-1 past the halfway point of the first, and just honestly, a little bit of a back and forth game. I think you're starting to see both teams start to stretch things out a little bit. The Canadiens against the Lightning did a really good job with those long stretch passes, springing odd man rushes. It looks like they're trying to do something similar tonight, as are the Devils, and that's what's been leading to some form of odd man rushes for both sides. But yeah, either way, it's been what's it called? It's not it. Just trying to find something here. Either way, it's been like I said, an interesting back and forth game with teams trying to go for those long stretch passes, and sometimes it's been working. But I wanted to say that on Tuesday's game against the Senators, the Canadiens just had, when I was with Sens fan Chris May, the Canadiens were having a difficult time with those long. We're trying to spring any long passes for odd man rushes, I found. So so far they've been able to do a better that in this game thus far. And we're back from the commercial break after the offside. So face-off is in the neutral zone. And the face-off is won there by the Devils. And Dougie Hamilton now will throw it into the Canadian zone, but taken by Schoenemann, D to Savard. Savard quick up the ice to Gallagher. Gallagher will rim it into the Devils zone. Out to play is Hammond. I almost said Montoya for a second. I thought former Canadiens goaltender, and that became I think Al Montoya was number 35. But anyway, Armia now with it, but loses it to Jesper Boqvist. Boqvist now with it. But he is well forechecked by Gallagher, who now takes it into the Devils zone. Gallagher down the right wing, stops, being watched by Ryan Graves, and kept in at the line by Savard across to Schoenemann. Schoenemann with a shot towards the net, sticked down there by Graves. Now here's Dvorak. Dvorak to the point. But David Savard, it was a bouncing puck. David Savard could not hold the line. It goes all the way back to Jake Allen, who will leave it for Corey Schoenemann to Pitlick and out. But Subban takes in the neutral zone, and Ty Smith will rim it into the Canadian zone. Glove down by Subban. Subban shoots it towards the net. It just deflects wide. Rebound is jumped on by Andreas Johnsson. The puck makes its way to the net, and Allen gets his glove on it, and he will cover up for whistle. We got AJ Greer giving a little shove to David Savard and company. So a little bit of extracurricular activity after the whistle. but they'll settle it down. Doesn't look like any penalties will be handed out here, so that's the end of that. Yeah, here. So there'll be a face-off. Oh, hey Patrick, how's it going? I tried getting you on the commercial break, but yeah, what's going on? It's 2-1 Montreal with under 8 minutes to go in the first. Montreal's winning. Yeah, it's a fun game actually. Back and forth, 3 goals already. Devils just made it 2-1 about 5-6 minutes ago as Allen gloves down a shot from the point. So who'd you put your money on there, Patrick? Really? Did you pick a winner, like an over under? Oh, okay. Yes, sir. Well, they're rising already because coming out of it was just a miserable, putrid, just awful start to the season. They won 8 games to their first 50, and so what they need to do to rise is, I mean, they fired the GM, they brought in Marty St. Louis. There's a quick shot by the Devils, just goes wide, Brett from in front. But they got the coach now, Marty St. Louis. They've been much better under St. Louis. Cole Caulfield, who had 1 goal in the first 50 games under Dominique Ducharme, is now a point per game player under St. Louis. So all this to say is they got the coach, they got the GM, they got the management. Now they got a bunch of picks, a bunch of assets at the trade deadline. So now they just have to use them in the draft well, develop well, and maybe even sign a couple of good free agents, because I think they're a lot closer to maybe not contending for the Stanley Cup, but at least contending for a playoff spot. We have a breakaway for Caulfield, by the way. Caulfield alone scores! Cole Caulfield makes it 3-1 Montreal, sniping goaltender Andrew Hammond to the glove side. And that bet for putting your money on Montreal, by the way, Patrick, is looking pretty good right now as Caulfield scores another one on a breakaway. And suggested people to put money on Montreal. But yeah, so just to wrap up my answer to your question, they are rising, and next year they're pretty close to contending for a play. I think they are a couple of moves away from contending for at least a playoff spot, and then it's just a matter of time where maybe they'll contend for a Stanley Cup. So hope that answers your question. Right now, a couple of years ago, it was the Bruins, absolutely. But right now, I would say maybe I'm a little biased because I live in Toronto, but I would say the Leafs are the biggest rival of the Canadians right now. I mean, sorry, the Red Wings or the Leafs? Well, they met in the playoffs last year, and the Leafs blew a 3-1 lead to the Canadians. After everything the Leafs have blown, they blew a 5-1 lead to Florida last Tuesday. So, but they blew a 5-1 lead. Here, yeah, you know what? Yeah, Patrick, I'm gonna extend your your hot seat time a little bit here, because this is an interesting discussion. And there'll be I think another commercial break coming here. I'll extend your time there, Patrick. But thanks for joining us on the hot seat, of course. So let me extend your hot seat time here once I get you back on. In the meantime, like I said, Caulfield, that was a beautiful goal that he scored. And I know you can't hear Patrick on YouTube, but he is one of the awesome casters we have on ColorCast. So we'll get him back onto the hot seat here. I'm also going to put up, now that the dryer's done, I'm also going to put the volume up a little higher here on the YouTube feed. So, Yeah, so just put your volume down a little bit if you're on YouTube right now. But we'll get Patrick on momentarily once he jumps back on. But yeah, just in terms of the Leafs and the Panthers, I mean, the Panthers are just stacked. Like that's just that they're very high scoring, maybe a little bit too high scoring slash um, what's the term, gung ho, no holds barred, I guess is the expression. But yeah, just but I would say, I would say they're a little bit more stacked and a little bit more well balanced than another offensive team like the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they definitely have more depth in goal. So that's why Florida is gonna win pretty much the Eastern Conference. Welcome back, Patrick. Yeah, like I was actually just talking about this before on a podcast I was doing actually a couple hours ago. That I think also now the Leafs, the reason the Leafs struggle so much on D is just because they give up also so many goals within 8 feet of their net. So they just are unable to pick up the garbage in front of their goaltenders, which doesn't do them any favors. But obviously, look, their goaltenders have struggled themselves. But I also think that I think what uh, like look, it wouldn't hurt. I would say that would help them win a playoff round, absolutely. But especially like if it's a Vasilevsky type of goaltender, then probably, or a Carey Price, prime Carey Price type of goaltender, then they can make it to the Cup final. But what's going to hold them back is I just think that they don't have enough defensively responsible forwards because Marner, Matthews, Tavares, Nylander, again, skill beyond like four of the most skilled players in the NHL, of course, and Matthews is pretty much going to win the Rocket Richard Trophy. And also got my girlfriend here. I have to remember my girlfriend's listening in on YouTube and actually a couple of rooms away from me here. But so I have to be careful with what I say about the Leafs. But either way, I think I've realized that look, not only is it their defense and their goaltending that has to be responsible for clearing the front of the net, but also their forwards, Matthews, Nylander, Marner, they have to take responsibility as Allen makes a nice save on a shot from the point there, but they have to take responsibility, the forwards do, in terms of helping out their defense and supporting them and covering the open guys in front. And they also have not been consistent enough at doing that. And that's why they have blown so many leads over the last 15 years. Absolutely. What's it like being a Detroit Red Wings? Imagine being a Detroit Red Wings fan living in Chicago when the Wings were falling off and the Chicago Blackhawks were in in the prime of their dynasty. Exactly. So yeah, there you go. Imagine living in Colorado and Denver as a Red Wings fan. To be fair though, Patrick, at least like the Red Wings had like their dynasty from the late 90s to the to the 2010s. So, no, of course. Just and we've also had some couple of years of just of really difficult seasons. Like that's how the Avalanche got McKinnon and Rantanen and Kale McCarr, and now they've used those guys to build up another. I can't say dynasty because they haven't made it past the second round yet themselves, but they are a powerhouse in the regular season and definitely Stanley Cup contenders. And I think that this year will be the year that they make it past the second round because they got the guys like Kadri. They acquired Lehkonen, guys that are battle tested. But quick thoughts to end with there, Patrick. 10 seconds left in the hot seat. Of course. Thank you so much, Patrick. And also, now that Light 'em Up is on Sunday nights, I will definitely try to appear a lot more often on Light 'em Up, especially if you guys invite me again, like you did a couple weeks ago. So thank you so much for joining the hot seat there, Patrick, and have a good cast on Light 'em Up tonight. As again, Caulfield, that was a beautiful, and also we're talking. I was just talking at the commercial break how it looks like both teams are stretching the ice again in this game. This is more of a wide, or more of a um, how should I call it? Game where the Canadians are successfully stretching the ice a lot more, just like they did against Tampa and weren't able to do against Ottawa. And that's how Caulfield got that breakaways. Allen is tested again with a nice shot from the point. He steers that into the corner. And here's Gallagher now through center with Armia and Dvorak. Just throws it into the corner for Dvorak to chase it down. Armia gets to it though. Armia with a backhand. Can't pass it in front. He's cut off there by AJ Greer, taken by Gallagher on the half wall and flipped out to center, though, by the Devils, intercepted by Armia, and he sends it back to Corey Schooneman, who will slow things down and allow for a couple of changes to be made here. Oh, I just have to update the graphic on the YouTube here. A quick second. There we go. Okay, good. So here's Schooneman now. Pass up ahead is a little bit out of the reach for Brendan Gallagher. He'll go off for a change. Taken now by Sinkenthaler and Severson rather. He'll throw it ahead, but intercepted by the Canadians. Taken back, though, by Hischier in the neutral zone. Hischier sends it back to his defenseman. Severson now with it. Severson into the neutral zone and back behind Allen's net, giving chase for Jesper Bratt. Bratt tries to get it across to Sharangovich, but Romanov intercepts, and the Canadians bank it out of their zone, taken now by PK Subban. Backpedaling, minute 30 to go here in the first period. 3-1 Canadians. It is chipped into the Canadian zone. Allen out to play it, leaves it for Edmondson. Edmondson to Romanov. Romanov will dump it into the Devils' zone. Hammond can't settle it down. It is taken by Ty Smith. PK Subban to Thomas Tatar. Tatar across to Ty Smith, and now the Devils on the rush. Pass towards the net, knocked down by Romanov. And it is kept in by Subban. Shot stopped by Allen. Rebound is loose in front, but cleared into the corner. Tatar on it now. Tatar gets knocked off by Ryan Poehling, and Romanov will flip it out of the zone, taken back, though, by Dawson Mercer. And now here's Ty Smith. Quick up, intercepted by the Canadians. And now, but Tatar back the other way will throw it into the zone, but Suzuki on it. Now there are 40 seconds to go here in the period. Suzuki will lead the rush the other way. Pitlick now into the corner for Suzuki, taken by Dougie Hamilton. Hamilton now on his forehand in the corner, sends it ahead and out. Played by Schooneman, though. Schooneman back into the Devils zone. And it is taken by Jesper Boqvist of the Devils. And Hamilton will send it ahead and out. Here comes Jesper Boqvist. Now Boqvist shot stopped by Allen from a dead angle. Caulfield will try to play it, but it gets swiped out of play. So we'll have a whistle in possibly the neutral zone, as that possibly went off of a Devil last there. Fabian Zetterlund is it's good to see one of the getting featured by MSG here as one of the scoring leaders, I think, in the USHL, and he's making one of his playing in one of his first games as a New Jersey Devil here. Well, the face off to the left of Jake Allen with about 8.7 seconds left. It is won by Jesper Boqvist. But on it quickly is Armia with 4 seconds to go. Perhaps a chance for Armia the other way. Armia delays and shoots. Stopped by Hammond. Rebound is there. He stops that as well. And that will do it for the first period as the Canadians got a couple of 2 quick chances there as time expired. And the score remains 3-1 after 1 period of play between the Canadians and the Devils. I'm going to step aside here real quick on ColorCast and on YouTube. I'll be back in a couple of short minutes here, but don't go anywhere, as we'll be right back for the intermission coverage here on Langer at the Mic and on ColorCast. All right, we are back here on Lanker at the mic and on COLORCAST. We're back here on Lanker at the mic and on COLORCAST in this intermission where it is 3-1 for the Montreal Canadiens over the New Jersey Devils. In what was a very fun period. It was a very fun period. And I want to say one thing. Not a big betting person, but I would say, I don't know what the stats are in terms of the Canadiens hitting the over, or at least in Canadiens games hitting the over, but it seems like a lot of Canadiens games have hit the over as of late. So if you are a betting person in the audience, then take the over in the Canadiens games that they've played, as they have hit the over quite often. I have to just put this down a little bit. But yeah, just honestly, I'm just wondering, is Jordan Harris not in the lineup because he's hurt, or I just want to get an update on Jordan Harris on why he's not playing tonight. Clegg. Looks like he is a healthy scratch. Yeah, it looks like Jordan Harris is a healthy scratch, which it's a little disappointing, I'm not going to lie. Unless they're just trying to give Kale Clegg and other guys a bit of a look here. But yeah, I don't know what's up with that. So just it would have been nice to see Jordan Harris tonight for sure. But either way, look, the Canadiens, it's still fair to give a look on Chris Weidman and Kale Clegg and Corey Schooneman, of course, just to see what they can bring maybe for next year. But it would obviously be nice to see what they can do, or what Jordan Harris can do as a young up-and-coming defenseman, of course. So, yeah, it would definitely be nice. I want to just looking for a certain file here to display, but in a couple of seconds, I'm going to start talking about, again, prospects and my latest feelings on Logan Cooley. And obviously Shane Wright is, if the Canadiens get the first overall pick, then it should be Shane Wright. If it is the second overall pick, then as we talked about with Chris May the other day, Juraj Slafkovsky is also, I've done a little bit, I've looked into him a little bit more. And I want to say that I feel like he's becoming a little bit more. The question is, can he play center for me? Is he seems like he's more of a winger, which is what would make guys like Logan Cooley and of course Shane Wright, maybe not so much Matthew Savoie. But if the Canadiens are in a position to pick one of the top 3 players in the draft, then they should do so. But I think that Logan Cooley has justified that status, but also Juraj Slafkovsky has justified that as well as one of the top 3 players potentially in this draft. But and I've talked about again how the Canadiens, if they are able to find a I was going with that. But yeah, anyway, if the Canadiens are able to draft to get a top 2 or top 3 pick, then sorry, free agency. If they're able to find a center in free agency, like a veteran, decent center to supplement Suzuki, then that would allow them again to choose whatever best center is available. But here's the thing with Logan Cooley, of course, he is committed to the University of Minnesota, the Golden Gophers, so he wouldn't be in the mix until I think the following year at the earliest. So that would, of course, make it more. But either way, like in terms of this process, this rebuild / retool, whatever process you want to call it here on that the Canadians are going through with Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon, is you still want to be patient with it. You still have to. That's for later. You still want to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes that the previous management made in rushing Alex Galchenyuk and rushing Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Galchenyuk was in a place where he was coming off he played half the previous season in the OHL, or he missed this draft season, most of his draft season, because of a torn ACL. Was a point per game player in the OHL with the Sarnia Sting, but missed his most of his draft year due to a torn ACL. And I think at the time it was the right decision to choose him in the top 3. But then he played more in the OHL before that lockout shortened NHL season, his lockout shortened rookie season. But I think he needed a little more time in the OHL to really develop, to really dominate it, but also to work on his play without the darn puck, because that's not his skill. Not his, because with the puck, he has decent enough skill. He has decent enough confidence to make good plays with it, to dangle across the blue line, to make nice passes. He had a good shot. Like, he had a sharp. He was I would call him like a, like you know how when you think of like a really sharp, just like loud, sharp noise, kind of like maybe like a balloon pop in, or like a quick like zing, that's what Galchenyuk's shot was. I found, it wasn't like the hardest shot, but it was like a violent shot. I found it was like a quick snap on net type of shot when he was able to shoot, but he was a pass first player and he was terrible without the puck. And that is what cost him that's what cost him a much better career in the NHL, in my opinion. So, but that's also something that the Canadians failed to develop in his game as he was coming into the NHL. And he had a 30-goal season. He had a 30-goal 2015-2016 season. But he was awful without the puck. You saw how Nick Suzuki scored his goal? That's because as the trailer, as the third man on a 3-on-2 rush, or even a 3-on-3 rush, he basically allowed the third or the supporting player to cover, to converge onto Rem Pitlick and Cole Caulfield's side on the left wing, whereas he just casually entered the zone along the right wing towards the open area of the ice for taking the pass and just letting go a quick shot behind Andrew Hammond to his glove side. Seems like Suzuki scores so many goals from that right wing. But little things like that just allow him to create that time and space for himself before he gets the puck. That's what Galchenyuk, I find has kind of lacked in his game offensively, but also defensively in terms of covering the open guy, of course, has really limited him, or just really been a detriment to his game. And obviously, look, with the puck, he was the one that turned the puck over to Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield that led to the overtime winner in Game 5 of that Leafs-Canadian series last year. But just again, he needs to be so all this to say with the Canadians, and in terms of whether they draft Shane Wright or Logan Cooley or even Matthew Savoie or Juraj Slafkovsky, if they play him at center. I don't know I think he's more of a winger anyway, but regardless of who they pick, if they're good enough to play next year, they can play next year. Although, again, Logan Cooley is going to go to the University of Minnesota. But if it's Shane Wright or Juraj Slafkovsky, or even a defense, I would say defenseman is probably should not play next year. But either way, they should be patient, whether that's not rushing them to the NHL, or if they do play them at the NHL level. So what, they make a mistake or two, they fail to cover their guy in the defensive zone, they turn a puck over. So what? Live with it. Teach them through it. The same way, and I have a lot more confidence that this management will do so, and that this coach, Martin St. Louis, will do so. because he has done so far, plain and simple. Look at Caulfield. He's a completely different player under Martin St. Louis. And also big shout out to the guys Au Balotage, the Au Balotage podcast. I appeared on their on one of their shows right after the draft. We had to talk about the whole Logan Mailloux stuff, but Au Balotage, that's Jeff and Mathieu and Pat. They had Marc Dumont from Montreal, from the Montreal Canadiens. He's one of the social media coordinators for the Montreal Canadiens social media, or I think he does. He's in charge of fan relations. He's a very good bridge between the Montreal Canadiens organization and the fans, especially on Twitter. Follow him at Marc Dumont on Twitter. He's awesome. And they interview. So the Au Balotage guys, follow them as well. Of course, Pat and Jeff and or JF and Mathieu, follow them all on Twitter. But I listened to their show with Marc Dumont today, talking about a whole bunch of stuff, talking about the Hugo regime, as we like to call it, the Kent Hughes, Jeff Gordon regime. He talked about also Lyle Odelin's career, just and fishing and taste in music and stories of how the Canadiens reach out to alumni. But anyway, they also talked about how this new regime between Hughes, Gordon, Marty St. Louis, even the Chantal Maccabé in charge of communications, this whole regime is just putting more emphasis on having fun. Because the Canadiens, even though they're in last place right now, not winning every single game, they're bloody having fun. They're enjoying coming to the rink and playing these games clearly under Martin St. Louis. And I honestly, look, does NHL coaches don't have a long, like, you could obviously see when head coaches, when their times come to an end, when their message just doesn't, just falls through dead ears, or just goes in one ear out the other, as you like to say in the locker room. There's always, NHL coaches always reach that time, but I just feel like Martin St. Louis, as a former player, now coaching, and also there's also another, I forget which reporter. It was one of the French reporters, I think from TVA or La Presse or something on Twitter, referenced how Marty St. Louis is working with Cole Caulfield, and how he scored that goal the other night against the Sens, where he faked the one-timer. His go-to move is the one-timer, of course. So what are teams trying to do? They're trying to converge the coverage. They're trying to bring the coverage to his one-time side into the shooting lane, the same way they would do with Shea Weber, put two bodies in the shooting lane to take away that one-timer, because you know it's coming. So what does he do? Well, he fakes the one-timer. He comes down with his stick, or what Marty St. Louis is showing him is sometimes fake the one-timer, take a step forward into the middle, and then shoot when you create a shooting lane for yourself. So what did Caulfield do the other night? And again, this is credit to forget the reporter's name on La Presse or TVA that showed this on social media on Twitter. But what do you do instead? Well, again, fake the shot, walk to the middle of the ice and create a shooting lane for yourself, and then let it rip, instead of just blindly, like we saw Shea Weber do. All due respect to Shea Weber, but like we saw him do the last couple of years on the power play, is just blindly one-time shot, either over the ice or over the net, into the glass, or into another player's shin pad, or into Brendan Gallagher's hand or face or wrist, or inside someone's skate. So anyway, so obviously, so from that standpoint, I really like what Marty St. Louis has done, but also I'm saying from a former player, when I was to go back on kind of what I was saying before, with just typical coaches with going the long way of like coaching in junior and then coaching the AHL and then coaching the NHL and getting a ton of experience, yada, 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 but never playing at a high level. I know Claude Julien played in the NHL. Dominique Ducharme, I forget if he played, but either way, Marty St. Louis was a Hall of Fame player. Claude Julien was not a Hall of Fame defenseman in the NHL. Dominique Ducharme was not a Hall of Fame player in the NHL. Jacques Martin, Michel Therrien, Alain Vigneault, Lindy Ruff, who I mentioned on ColorCast at the top, they were not Hall of Fame players in the NHL. But Marty St. Louis was. Rod Brind'Amour was maybe not Hall of Fame worthy with Carolina, but he had a long career as a member of the Carolina Hurricanes, their captain, won a Stanley Cup with them. So I think players that play more recently understand fully how players feel, how they think, what they go through, the ups and downs of a season, how to get through that. They can relate much more to players than these dinosaur head coaches. And again, I'm saying dinosaur, I know it's like a negative connotation to it, but let's just call them like more experienced. I'm labeling experienced, maybe successful head coaches, but experienced head coaches from 10 years ago that maybe don't quite relate to players as much anymore. And that's why maybe they're not as effective right now. And that's why I think Marty St. Louis, who we're seeing right now as we begin the second period, is just, I really hope that Marty St. Louis sticks and that his message of having fun just sticks and that he carves out a long career for himself, a long successful career for himself as a head coach of the Montreal Canadiens, because he has been phenomenal thus far. So I hope he sticks. And now we're just about to start the second period between the Canadiens and the Devils. We'll have the Dvorak's line out there against the Nico Hischier line. It is won by Nico Hischier, but Gallagher puts immediate pressure on PK Subban. He gets it back to Ty Smith and up the ice. Now taken by Sharangovich down the left wing. Sharangovich to the slot to Hischier. His shot stopped by Allen. Another stop by Allen on the doorstep off of Jesper Bratt. What a save by Jake Allen. The first shot got blocked down in traffic, and he had to make a phenomenal save with his left pad sprawling out on Jesper Bratt. Now the Devils hold the zone. It is thrown into the corner to Nico Hischier to the point. And D-to-D from Ty Smith. Across shot from the point goes just wide. And now here's Brendan Gallagher. He will flip it out to center. It is taken back by Jonas Siegenthaler and up into the Canadian zone, but taken back by Dvorak. D-to-D to Edmondson. Edmondson off the glass and out, where it is intercepted by Ty Smith. Up the boards and making its way to Dawson Mercer. Mercer to the slot. One-time shot just wide of the net. That was Thomas Tatar. Came very close to scoring his second of the game, but his one-time shot just went wide. 3-on-2 for the Devils. Here's Tatar again. Tatar almost split the D. But now another shot by that was Pavel Zacha gets stopped by Jake Allen. Now here comes Nick Suzuki, the shot just from far on Hammond. He'll glove it down and play it aside to defenseman Ty Smith. And now here comes Pavel Zacha. He has to one-hand it up the boards, intercepted by the Canadiens, and Rem Pitlick will just throw it in behind the net, taken by Jonas Siegenthaler. Siegenthaler up the ice, but intercepted there momentarily by Caulfield. Caulfield taken back by Siegenthaler, and D and up the ice. Here's Boqvist now down the left wing of the Canadian zone. Shot stopped by Allen. Glove down easily. He will force a whistle to his right. By the way, we are over 2,000 likes already on this cast, so thank you for over 2,000 likes in this audience, guys. And yeah, just watching the save by Allen, just sprawled out that left pad to take away that open net away from Jesper Bratt. Jake Allen also has been really, really good since his return from injury, and if they, I'm not gonna say I don't care if they trade him or keep him. But I will say that if they do trade him, they better get good value for him. They better. As a Hoffman drops one off for Anderson entering the Devils zone now, but it is lost behind the net, taken back by Ryan Graves. And Zetterlund down the left wing has to chase down Romanov. He can't quite chase him down. Romanov maintains it, but loses it finally to Zetterlund. Great job in pursuit of Romanov. Zetterlund puts it behind the net for his teammate, jumping in as Boqvist. And now finally taken back by Anderson, but his pass gets cut off by Zetterlund. And now Graves will go D-to-D to Dougie Hamilton, back to Graves, and up the ice across the Canadiens line to Boqvist into the opposite corner. Now here is Andreas Janssen, tries leaving it across, but his teammate there was AJ Greer, gets knocked away by Joel Edmondson. Now here's Greer fighting with Edmondson and Anderson and Janssen behind the Canadiens' net. It is Anderson who can't quite come out with it yet. Evans does, cleared, but not out to the line. Smith's shot on net, stopped by Allen. Play continues. McLeod to Janssen in front, but cut off. And now here comes Jesse Ylonen the other way. Ylonen will accidentally throw it out of play as he was looking to clear it into the Devils zone, but he accidentally puts it into the crowd. So we'll have a face-off at center ice here between Poehling and Nico Hischier. It is won by Poehling. Nice effort there to win that face-off. Weidman up ahead to Tyler Pitlick. Pitlick ahead into the Devils zone behind Hammond's net. It is left there by Siegenthaler. And the Devils will make their way out through center. Here's Hischier on perhaps a 2-on-1 with Bratt. Bratt gets it. Bratt, but he gets stick checked by Allen. The rebound is followed up by Strangovich, but he ran out of space. He goes behind the net now to the point. Shot is blocked down in traffic by Cale Clegg, and he will go for an outlet pass to Ylonen. Across here to Poehling. Poehling throws it into the corner for Tyler Pitlick. Pitlick takes it. Tyler Pitlick to the point. D to Savard. Savard just throws it behind the nets. It is gloved out by the Devils, taken by Jesper Bratt. And back here to Siegenthaler. Devils or Canadians make some changes, both as do the Devils. Here's Tatar over the Canadians line now. Tatar delays, makes another spin move in front of Dvorak and Gallagher, but Gallagher takes it back and he'll start the other way. His former line mate with Tatar, of course, for multiple years. And now Gallagher tries to hop on a loose puck in the Devils zone, but good recovery there by Graves and Hamilton to get it out to at least center. But Gallagher, I think we have offside here. Yeah, Gallagher was did not quite exit the Devils zone, so it's offside at the Devils line. That was a really nice poke check there by Allen on Jesper Bratt. And a good back check there on Tyler Pitlick to not allow the follow-up chance for Yegor Sharangovich. So you got Suzuki in front of Dawson Mercer on the ensuing faceoff in the neutral zone, just won by Mercer. D from Siegenthaler to Sharangovich. Now here comes Tatar over the Canadiens line. Tatar leaves it. Shot stopped in traffic there. That was Zaka's shot. Did not make it through. Now the Canadiens come back the other way. Here's Pitlick. Pitlick across to Suzuki to Caulfield. Can't get the one-timer to go. Fanned on it. And then Tatar will glove it ahead to Dawson Mercer. And now here comes Pavel Zacha to Mercer down the right wing. Mercer to Zacha. Zacha to Mercer behind the Canadiens net. Now Mercer back in front. Shot stopped by Allen. A nice solid save by Allen on Janne Kuokkanen. There again. Kuokkanen. Excuse me. That was a nice positional save, though, by Jake Allen. As we look at Rem Pitlick's stats, he has 33 points in 55 games. I still can't. He might even be almost a better pickup than Paul Byron was about 5 years ago. Picked up from Minnesota. Like, how does Minnesota let him go? I know he was picked by, I think he was a 4th round pick, I want to say, by Tampa way back in 2016 or San Jose, maybe. Either way. Here's Jake Evans with a chance, streaking over the Devils line, leaves it for Anderson. Anderson off the backhand. His shot goes just wide. Taken by Hoffman. Romanov shot. Oh, just deflected wide by Evans. Evans right back on it to Anderson. Anderson to the point. Romanov unleashes a shot, but gets blocked down in traffic by Zetterlund. And now here come the Devils the other way. Perhaps they got a 2-on-2. Here comes Kuokkanen. A shot stopped by Allen. Nice save there by Allen. I believe that was on Yegor Sharangovich. Or no, that was Dougie Hamilton jumping up from his D spot for a nice scoring chance. But Allen resists yet again. He has been very solid in this game. So that was a nice block there by Zetterlund before he led the rush the other way. Kuokkanen was a nice pass to find Dougie Hamilton, but Jake Allen made a huge save. Or might have been deflected by Romanov, actually. As the Devils win the face-off, but Weidman on it behind the net. His clearing attempt blocked by Subban. AJ Greer now in the corner with Chris Weidman. Battling, puck barely moving. It's a 5-man scrum ensues. Finally moves behind Allen's net. Dvorak on it. Dvorak nudges it ahead to Armia, who sends it to Gallagher over the left wing, but taken back by Michael McLeod. Back to Subban. Subban to McLeod. McLeod, long pass ahead to AJ Greer of the Canadiens line. Now here is Ty Smith. Armia, nice back check though, takes it, but behind the net. Oh, the net comes off. It doesn't come loose though, so play continues. Subban in front. Oh, AJ Greer just found on that one-time attempt in front of the net. He was wide open. Play continues in the Canadian zone though. Here is PK Subban. Subban backhands it behind to McLeod. He gets tussled there by Clegg. And on the play is Sharangovich. But we do have a whistle coming up, perhaps a penalty for the Canadiens on that hit on McLeod. Perhaps a high stick coming up for the Canadiens. I think the Devils will be going for their first power play. Yeah, Clegg going to the penalty box. So the Devils will get a power play after this commercial break. I will say, though, as entertaining as the Canadiens have been under Martin St. Louis in the 30 or so games under Martin St. Louis, as entertaining as the Canadiens have been, they have to be a lot tighter defensively. They have to tighten up their defensive zone coverage because on several occasions, whether on the back check, on the rush, or in the defensive zone, guys are getting left way too open in front. And while they have the goaltending to make those saves with Jake Allen, and hopefully Carey Price comes back eventually. Hopefully we'll have a chance to cast the game with Carey Price back in net. But it's happening way too often where guys are left wide open in the slot and in dangerous scoring areas by guys like Romanov, even kind of Schuneman to some extent. I know Jeff Petrie being out is a reason for that. So I think Jeff Petrie, if and when he comes back, if he doesn't get traded, will definitely help with that. But yeah, Canadiens defensemen, forwards have to figure out a way to cover up guys that get open in front of the net and in front of the and right in the slot, because it's been happening, I find, a little too often for my liking, where guys have been getting open on the rush and in front of the net, as you see when Cale Clegg went for the hit on Michael McLeod. He caught him a little bit with a high stick there, so that's what will give the Devils a power play here. And they will go to a power play. So Devils want to draw. One-time shot stopped by Allen. That shot there by Pavel Zacha. And we'll have another whistle to the left of Jake Allen. That was a clean face-off win as we welcome in potato number 1 to the cast. Welcome in potato number 1. But that one-time attempt there by Pavel Zacha was a clean win by the Devils off the face-off. They set up the one-timer, and Allen had to make a nice save there off of the one-timer by Pavel Zacha. Face-off is won this time by Montreal. Romanov gets the clear all the way out to center, so the Devils will have to reset. Here comes Jesper Bratt. Jesper Bratt to the right side. But the pass makes its way out of the Canadian zone, so the Devils will have to reset yet again. Dougie Hamilton. Up ahead to Hischier. Hischier leaves it for Jesper Bratt. And now Pavel Zacha. And the puck is loose out of 3-on-1 front. Hischier, the shot! Oh, just wide of the net. He beat Allen to the glove side, but the shot just went wide of the net. That was a dangerous, short, and fast 3-on-1 that developed off of a turnover. Canadiens get to clear the zone, but that was a prime scoring opportunity for the Devils. Now Here's Thomas Tatar over the Canadiens line. Tatar is offside because he looked like someone on the Devils jumped a little bit early there, so we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. And also, of course, Jack Hughes is not active tonight, it doesn't look like. Zach, nice. Jack Hughes is in his, what is it now, third season? Excuse me. Finally developing into a really, really good player that the Devils were hoping he'd turn into when they drafted him first overall in 2019. Here's Janssen ahead to Tatar. Tatar over the Canadiens line. Now to Sharangovich. Sharangovich to the point. D to D. Severson. Shot stopped by Allen. One-time shot there by Zetterlund. Stopped by Allen. The rebound is controlled by New Jersey. Severson now to Zetterlund. To the slot by Tatar. His shot blocked in front by Savard. Another shot by Zetterlund is wide. And now Armia will jump right onto it. 8 seconds to go on the Devils power play. Armia is content with just gaining the Devils blue line, putting it into the corner. But here comes Jake Evans on a forecheck. But he gets taken out of the play, and Tatar will lead the rush the other way. But we are back to 5-on-5 hockey as the penalty to Cale Clegg expires. We also welcome in Prince to the cast. Prince, are you in New Mexico right now? Let us know in the chat. I think I saw you say that in the Discord. Also, Prince, I want to ask you while you're here, if you're listening, I'd be down to do a Raptors cast on Sunday night. I won't be able to do cast games on Friday and Saturday, but on Sunday night, let me know if you'd be down to do the Raptors game together. So, who would have thought? Puck is loose in front of Allen's net, but the Devils unable to convert. Puck is loose now on the half wall. Caulfield back to Edmondson and Romanov. Romanov will finally stretch it out to Pitlick in the neutral zone. Pitlick will throw it ahead, but it gets intercepted. Devils back the other way into the Canadian zone. Here's Nico Hischier. Hischier drops it off to Jesper Bratt, and now to Ty Smith. Ty Smith, D to D to Subban, and now in the slot to Hischier. Hischier can't quite control it, though. Romanov forces him out, and Hischier will delay it back to the Devils defenseman. Finally clear it into Allen's corner. Suzuki to Pitlick, intercepted though by Nico Hischier. Nico Hischier does the turn of the Canadian zone. Now Bratt's shot gets deflected in front, taken back by Sharangovich. But Rem Pitlick is on it, and he will skate it out to center. Suzuki will throw it into the Devils zone. Hammond out to play it. And finally, the Devils get it out to center. And now here come the Canadiens with Gallagher over the New Jersey line. Taken back by the Devils, though, as they have they're out shooting the Canadiens pretty substantially in this period. There's a Paling to Weidman to Gallagher. I'll get to your response there in a sec, Prince. You are in New Mexico? Yes, let's do the Raptors game on Sunday. I'm absolutely down for that. I'll create a link for that. And be really excited. Raptors clinched a playoff non-play-in spot this past week. So looking forward to, and honestly, I might be casting some Raptors games or some NBA games in these playoffs, because why not? I'd be down to follow the Raptors as the Devils have a chance. Zetterlund on alone goes 5-hole on Allen, but he stops him. That was a cool cannon, by the way, who came in all alone on Jake Allen, but Jake Allen denied him with closing those pads together, taking away the 5-hole. And this game remains 3-1, as again, the Devils in this period have had a lot of odd man opportunities, a lot of guys open in dangerous scoring zones. They've been able to stretch the Canadiens a lot, but Canadiens haven't quite really adjusted yet, seemingly. Canadiens haven't quite been able to adjust. Just going to pull up the back score over here. So actually, impressively, didn't have that open for a while. So shots are 22-9 in favor of the Devils. 10-1 in the second period. 10-1 are the shots in favor of the Devils in the second period. So Allen has been phenomenal, stopping 21 out of 22 shots thus far, especially again in the second period. Caulfield Suzuki with the 2 points. Romanov leading the way in terms of ice time, which is great. Savard at 9:30. Schooneman also at 10:53. That's pretty good for Corey Schooneman. Savard's at 9:33. So again, pretty balanced usage by the defense, except for I think Chris Weidman is probably somewhere. Yeah, he's still pretty good at 8:33 or 8:39. So either way, we're back to the game here. The link might have broken on ColorCast here again. I know there's an update that I didn't get a chance to do yet, so I might have to re-enter the restart the cast here on ColorCast. We're back in the game here. I'll get to that in a second. Shots from the point by the Devils goes wide. Back on ColorCast here. So here is Zetterlund with a shot right on, stopped by Allen. Zetterlund battling with Corey Schooneman and Savard and coming out of it is Jesper Boqvist. But the puck is, there's Boqvist finally at the point. And a quick shot by Janssen, stopped by Jake Allen from far, and he will hold on to cover the whistle. Yeah, sorry about that little glitch on ColorCast. I was just trying to figure out the issue with it. Although, one second. So the Canadiens win the ensuing faceoff in their own zone, and it is kept in at the line though by Subban. Backhand pass to Bratt. Bratt tries passing it to Smith. It gets deflected, and here is Christian Dvorak to Romanov. Now over the Devils line. Quick shot by Armia, stopped by Hammond. Big rebound given up, but he shows on it first. But Ylonen takes it back. Pass for Dvorak's shot, stopped by Hammond. So the Canadiens finally getting a couple of looks here in the second period. But the Devils right away go back the other way with Ty Smith throwing it into Jake Allen's left corner. Here's Edmondson. Edmondson up ahead and out with Dvorak. Dvorak to Armia over the Devils line. Armia delays. Armia back to the point. Here's Caulfield's shot, stopped by Hammond. Another shot. Rebound was loose as Hammond, or that shot might have gotten deflected. Now Caulfield in the corner. Pass across to Rem Pitlick. Pitlick tries to hold it in the zone there. And now here is Weidman. Weidman down to Suzuki. Suzuki. Caulfield. Caulfield to the point, falling down. Here's Weidman to Suzuki. Suzuki, the Canadiens get a good sustained shift here finally. Suzuki being watched by a couple of Devils here. Puck makes its way to Pitlick and finally taken back, though, by Nico Hischier. He will backhand it out to center. Puck is a little too far for Sharangovich. Weidman is back there to play it first. Weidman ahead to Suzuki and into the Devils zone, giving chase to Pitlick. But the Devils got there first. And now here comes Michael McLeod. Michael McLeod over the Montreal line. Leaves it for A.J. Greer. McLeod falls. And we do have a whistle coming up as Allen freezes it along the side of the nets. It is 3-1 with under 6 minutes to go here in the second, which has been all Devils except for goals, interestingly enough. What are the shots now? But again, the Canadians finally with that shift with the Dvorak, Armia, and Anderson, the Dvorak Armia combination, then Pitlick, Caulfield, and Suzuki. Finally getting some sustained offense in the Devils zone. So yeah, it was a good couple of shifts there after a very lackluster period thus far for the Canadians. But not for Jake Allen, though. Jake Allen has been once again phenomenal. And again, if they trade him, they better have a good return for him. As again, guys, thank you for over 2,000 likes in this cast. You guys have been a wonderful audience, both on YouTube and on Langer at the Mic. Thought the Langer at the Mic stream was also down for a sec, but it seems to be working, so that's good. It's Gucci. Yeah, just Scott staring into space there, but yeah, we also welcome in Prince. Yeah, Prince. The previous cast seemed to have went down for a second, but yeah, thanks for rejoining us here on this link. And if that happens again, I'll update the app and or before coming back on. But I'll be here. I'll make sure I stay here. So you got McLeod in front of Dvorak. McLeod wins it back. That was Paling, rather. A shot from the point gets deflected high. Shot by Ryan Graves. In the corner is AJ Greer. Now here's Andreas Janssen to Graves. He can't handle the pass. Schooneman battles in the corner now with Graves. Greer. McLeod gets to the point now to Graves. Graves shot blocked there by Ryan Paling. Nice shot block by Ryan Paling, cleared but not out, kept in. Here's Graves now to the right wing. McLeod delays. McLeod back to the slot. His shot stopped by Allen. Rebound taken by Greer, and they score. AJ Greer makes it 3-2 for the Devils. Finally, after peppering the Canadians and Jake Allen with shots in this period, the Devils draw to within one. So wraparound goal on Jake Allen. How did this go in? It looked like Allen would have stopped it at first. Let's see. Ooh, that's just an unlucky deflection because Jake Allen got his pad there in time. It went off of a stick. It went off of David Savard's stick and up over Allen's shoulder and in. So some bad luck there for Jake Allen and the Canadians. But let's be honest, it was coming. They had it coming given how many shots they gave up in this period. But a nice little pushback on this shift so far as Hoffman looks to forecheck in the corner on Siegenthaler. And but finally, Hischier will get it out the other way. But Anderson knocks it down. Anderson and Evans fight for it, and they get it, but they're kind of tied up with each other in front. Hoffman's shot stopped by Hammond. Hoffman just tried deflecting it on net, even though there wasn't a lot of room. But here come the Devils the other way. But the pass in front is knocked down by Jake Evans, and Anderson will flip it up and out to center. Just got to update the graphic real quick here on Langer at the Mic. Where's this? 3-2 save. Boom. There we go. Let's get back to the game. Nice. So here's Hischier up ahead to Tatar. Tatar checked by Armia. Armia back to the blue line or to his D-men. Clegg ahead to Weidman and up. Nice stretch pass. Here's Gallagher down the right wing inside the Devils zone, being knocked down though by a couple of Devils. Here's Weidman at the point. Pass it to Armia. The shot scores! Yoel Armia gives the Canadians the 4-2 lead back, and now we got some pushing and shoving after the whistle. A lot to unpack here. So first of all, the Canadians take the 2-goal lead back. We got Weidman and Subban all tied up. Regardless, after all of this, it will be 4-2 for the Montreal Canadiens. At 6 p.m. here, kind of weird. Going to get some stuff done. Shoot me for the cast for the Raps game. Yeah, definitely will do there, Prince. Looking forward to it. I've been watching a lot of Raptors games lately. Very exciting to watch. Right now, Armia. Ooh, that was just a case of Hammond. I think he wasn't. He was able to reestablish his position, but I think he was a little deep in his net for where he liked to be, and there was just a whole maze of bodies in front of him, and he just could not find it. And Armia's shot just snuck its way through. The Canadians once again take a 4-2 lead here late in the second period over the New Jersey Devils. So Suzuki wins the faceoff back to Weidman, to Clay, back to Suzuki and into the Devils zone. But offside, so we'll have a faceoff in the neutral zone. Once again, the Canadians have been outshooting the Devils, or have been outshot by the Devils 15-6 in this second period, but they lead 4-2. And what's been a pretty entertaining game here. Like all games the Canadians have played in, let's be honest, since the magical time St. Louis took over. Now here's Caulfield with it. Caulfield to Suzuki. Suzuki backhands it behind the Devils' net. And Siegenthaler takes a hack at it, but it is kept in by Caulfield at the blue line. Caulfield's shot is knocked down in traffic and is cleared by Boqvist. Now here come the Devils into the Canadian zone. On the backhand is Cool Cannon with a backhand shot stopped by Allen. Rebound taken by Clegg behind the net. The outlet pass to Caulfield, but Caulfield has to double back and send it back to Clegg behind Allen's net. Here is Cal Clegg, just waiting for changes to be completed and for an opening. He'll just flip it ahead for Paling. Now Ilonen tried finding it, but he lost it. Here's Andreas Janssen to Ryan Graves. Taken back by Paling, though. Here's Tyler Pitlick. Pitlick throws it behind the Devils' net for Dougie Hamilton. Dougie Hamilton to AJ Greer. On it is Ilonen, who sends it back to Corey Schoeneman all the way into the Canadian zone. And Schoeneman now will wait for changes to be made. Savard all the way ahead, but a little too far, and we'll have a whistle. So a couple minutes to go here in the second period. Face-off is at center ice. There's a 2:08 exactly to go here. Face-off is won by the Devils. Here is Ty Smith across to Subban, but intercepted by Anderson. Subban back on it. Subban across D to D behind the net to Ty Smith and out. Up ahead, but taken back by Mike Hoffman. Hoffman D to D to Schoeneman. Corey Schoeneman through center to Savard over the Devils line. Savard shot. Oh, a nice little shot pass there. Almost worked, but it just goes wide. And the puck now behind the Devils net is pushed ahead by Subban. Intercepted by Hoffman, though. Hoffman, his pass gets cut off by Nico Hischier. Out to center now. Here is Jesper Bratt. Jesper Bratt is tries to take it to the net, but Allen gets his glove on it and will cover up for a whistle to his and a face-off to his left. So we're actually looking at PK Subban here, who's going to be a free agent this offseason. Will he be worth reuniting will he be worth re-signing or bringing back to Montreal? I was kind of for it earlier a couple weeks ago when I first thought about it, but I don't know. It would be nice. It would be a nice story as the Devils are in over the Canadiens line. A shot gets deflected by Romanov into the corner. Back to the point. Here's Boqvist. Boqvist to Graves. Graves' shot into the corner is knocked down by Dvorak. Dvorak up ahead to Armia. Armia flips it way ahead to Edmondson leading the rush. Joel Edmondson towards the net. Just an easy blocker saved by Hammond. And taken back by Boqvist. And he'll leave it for Damon Severson as the Devils make some changes. Severson's long pass up ahead to Kuo Cannon. Now here's Severson back with it to Graves. Graves, long pass ahead for Janssen. Over the line now, McLeod to Janssen. Janssen behind Jake Allen's net. Janssen comes back in front of the shot. Blocked down. And now here comes, Suzuki was trying to fight for it, but good job on the back check there by Ryan Graves to take away a breakaway opportunity for Suzuki. 5 seconds to go in the period. Quick up pass by Edmondson to Caulfield as time will expire in the second period. The score is 4-2 in favor of Montreal. A period dominated by the Devils, but even on the scoreboard. Again, 15-7 were the shots on goal. Actually, let me refresh it a second here. I think it was a little more than 15-7. It's not quite refreshed here. But either way, the score is 4-2 after 40 minutes in favor of the Montreal Canadiens. And again, I will step aside here for 2 seconds. So don't go anywhere on ColorCast and on YouTube. I will be right back. I will say a quick thank you before I step away for a quick sec. Thank you for 3,000 likes to our cast on our ColorCast link. And yeah, again, guys, I will be right back. unmute that. And we are back on YouTube and on ColorCast for this Habs versus Devils game, which has been a fun one. 6 goals through 2 periods. And like I said at the first intermission, usually take the over. I'm not a betting person. I am not, but I'm aware of the rise of sports betting, especially with it becoming legal in Ontario. So, yeah. So basically, take the over in goals for Montreal Canadiens games is the smart way to go. Because they've been playing in a lot of high scoring games, either scoring a lot of goals or giving up a lot of goals. So, yeah, let's play a little lottery game. Why not? Oh, yeah. So I want to say how, and I find that Juraj Slafkovsky, if I had to rank players I like, at least like, let's say the top 4 best players / best options for the Canadiens, I would say Shane Wright, number 1, Logan Cooley, number 2, Juraj Slafkovsky is my number 3, and maybe Simon Nemec at number 4. I think Simon Nemec is when you're picking this high in a draft, you cannot draft for need. If the players available and the value of the players available lines up with your need, then perfect. You take that. However, if you need a center and there isn't a player who you think will turn into a franchise number 1 center, and you have to think objectively, not hopefully. If there isn't a player that you think will turn into a franchise number 1 center, well, you got to take the winger, you got to take the defenseman. Take the best player available at number 2 or number 3, assuming if the Canadiens do not win the draft lottery. Blackhawks won the lottery. Sabres friggin' won the lottery. Kraken won the lottery. Canadiens won the lottery. Sabres won the lottery. Canadiens won the lottery. Coyotes won the lottery. Blackhawks won the lottery. Devils won the lottery. Canadiens won the lottery. Canadiens won the lottery. Sabres won the lottery. Canadiens won the lottery. On ColorCast, if you were seeing me on YouTube, I was just like making very obvious happy and sad facial expressions. So yeah, which you obviously couldn't have seen on the ColorCast. Okay, another. So I'd like to think that one of Logan. So the thing with Matthew Savoie, their NHL Central Scouting rankings. Like, if you're telling me that Matthew Savoie at 5'9", 175 pounds is another Claude Giroux, or I mean, he could still grow to like 5'10", 180. But if you're telling me he's another Claude Giroux type player, or maybe even a Braden Point type of player at 5'9", maybe becoming 5'10", then yeah, he's worth a top 5 whatever pick. But if his skill and productivity isn't going to justify his lack of size, well, I would be a little more reluctant. I would be very reluctant to take him. 84 points with Winnipeg in the WHL this past year. 38 points in 34 games in the USHL the year before. Playing the WHL also. I think because of COVID in 2020, 2021, yeah, that's why he split time in the AJHL and the USHL. As I think a 16-year-old with Winnipeg in the US in the WHL, he had 7 points in 22 games, no goals, but he was very productive in this past season, or he's been productive this season with Winnipeg in the WHL. So it looks like a fun little player. It's just that, again, does his skill and production match his lack of size or compensate for his lack of size? That's the question. For Caulfield, clearly at the NHL levels, right now in the last 30 games, it has more than justified his lack of size. It's also confusing how there's another Jack Hughes in this draft, like a completely independent Jack Hughes compared to the Jack Hughes in New Jersey. It's like the Sebastian Aho, there being two Sebastian Ahos in the NHL. I think the other Sebastian, I think one is Sebastian and one is Sebastian Aho. Trying to see where the other Sebastian Aho is right now for the Swedish defenseman. Yeah. Still at the Islanders. Okay. That's funny. Aho, for checking on Aho. Aho turns it over to Aho. Aho shoots, he scores. I wonder how often that happens when the Hurricanes play the Islanders, but either way. Also, Canadians have 2 first-round picks in this draft. There's I keep forgetting exactly how. So I know they acquired another first-round pick for the Kotkaniemi trade. Or trade, not the trade. The RFA offer sheet signing. They acquired a first-round pick from Carolina, but then they sent that first-round pick to Arizona. So that's why, yes, the Arizona Coyotes, that's why they have pick number 30, because that's where the Carolina Hurricanes are. And the other Canadians pick is from the Toffoli trade. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So basically, they are picking 1 and 23. So that is honestly why. If for whatever stupid reason, I mean, not to say Matthew Savoie is going to fall that far, but what if Connor Geekie does? Yeah, probably not. What about the other Jack Hughes or Jimmy Snuggerud? Snuggerud, if I pronounced that correctly. All this to say is that what if someone else from the top 10 or top 15 best players is available to the Canadians in the 20s? I think the Canadians that would actually be drafting, hang on. They'd be drafting 29th right now. Yeah, not 23rd, 29th, because that's where the or hang on. When are these updated? One is April 4. Okay, this is a week ago. So I think they'd be anyway, they'd be drafting in the 20s, whatever Calgary's pick turns out to be. Whatever Calgary's pick turns out to be is where the Canadians will be drafting. So they'll have. So that's also kind of why the Canadians have to hope for Calgary to. I mean, they're the best team in the Pacific, and they're a powerhouse out west. They kind of have to hope for Calgary to not finish as high. Be getting this second period started in about 4 minutes or so. Devils won the lottery. Sens won the lottery. Blackhawks won the lottery. Devils won the lottery. Sens won the lottery. Blackhawks won the lottery. Sens won the lottery. Habs won the lottery. Finally. Hey, and the Islanders jumped 10 spots. You shouldn't be allowed to jump 10 friggin' spots in the lottery. That should not be allowed. It's not cool. It's not fair. That's not fair. It's not fair to tank, sure, but it's also not fair for someone to jump 10 spots in a lottery. I don't understand that. Again, should be by 16 worst teams, group them by 4. group them by maybe go like something like top 5, then 6 to 10, then 11 to 16. That's kind of fair, because then that forces the 16th worst team, or like the team that just doesn't quite make the playoffs, to push a little hot to try to make the playoffs and not just tank, because the worst place, because it's not guaranteed they'll get that 10th or that 11th overall pick. Yeah, that's a good way to go. You go 5, 5, and 6. I think that's a pretty fair split. Worst place that you could finish, if you're the worst team, the worst place, actually maybe even 4, because if you're the worst team in the NHL, you should not draft lower than 4. Yeah, maybe I'm saying that now as the Canadians are in last place and the worst team in the NHL. But either way, like, yeah, I shouldn't have the island. Like, let's play this game. How about this? Let's see how often a team from outside the worst 4 teams, I say top 4, but worst 4 teams, how often a team from outside the worst 4 teams makes it into the top 4. Let's see. There, yeah, the Devils. Okay, yeah, so that's fair. San Jose, there you go. That's 1. I think that is this a lottery where no one moved anywhere? That just happened. Anyway, San Jose and Philly, so that's another one. And Philly, so that's another one. And Philly, that's another one. Chicago, another one. Detroit comes from the 8th spot to get the first overall pick. Okay, that was fair. Ottawa from outside Ottawa from outside the bottom 4 enters the 4, and now they get the first overall pick, moving up 5 spots. Ottawa moves up again 4 spots. Ottawa moves up again 5 spots. Philly moves up 4 spots. So look, all this to say is, I think that I think that's a fair way to do the lottery. I think that's a pretty fair way to do the lottery, where do it in groups of 4. Groups of 4, maybe 5, 5, 6. But again, a team finishing... Actually, yeah, you're right. If a team finishes in last place, they can't... Yeah, 5, 5, 6. Do 5, 5, 6. Because right now, as it stands, a team finishing in last place, I don't think can win the lottery anyway. So that's at least fair. Okay, yeah, I figured it out. So 5, 5, 6, and the team that's in 5th place, because right now, if I look at the pick odds, Montreal, if the worst place team, the last place team, their odds are 25, 18, 55 respectively. 25, 18, 55 respectively. So they could only finish in the top 3, and so keep those odds, but open up the number 5 spot. Like, here's where it would change if I pull up this board. I mean, can't really see it. I guess, maybe. Do I want to pull this up on YouTube right now? Yeah, let's pull this up on YouTube real quick. Let's do a little share screen. Let's do that. Can I do that? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So let's pull this up over here. There we go. So you can't see this really on ColorCast, but you can see this on YouTube, where basically the difference would be right around this spot over here, where the Devils, who finish outside, the Flyers in this case, right now with the Habs, Arizona, Seattle, New Jersey, Philly being the 5 worst teams. You can even say if it's 5, 5. Yeah. So Ottawa would not have any. This is the change share. You would you would even cut off. Yeah, this. So Ottawa would have no chance at the first overall pick. Instead of an 8 or a 7.6% chance, they would have a 0% chance. And we are back in the 3rd period here. So let's close all this. And I have to stop the screen share over here. Remove. There we go. Perfect. I'll remove this. There we go. Okay. So yeah, we are back in the 3rd period between the Canadiens and the Devils. Still 4-2. Montreal. Jake Evans will take an offensive zone faceoff in front of Nico Hischier to the left of Andrew Hammond. And it is won by Evans back to the point, but Schoenemann can't handle the puck at the blue line. He has to go all the way back into the Canadian zone to retrieve it. Shoot him in ahead to Hoffman. Almost turned over to Subban, but Hoffman keeps it. He's got a little bit of space through center over the Devils line in front. And the shot is stopped by Andrew Hammond on a nice pass from Hoffman to Josh Anderson, but Andrew Hammond denied him. Making a nice glove save. And we are over 4,000 likes. So thank you for the wonderful support once again in our lovely audience. Who are the only two players to score at least 100 goals for both Devils and the Canadians? Kirk Muller was one of them. Cool. Didn't know that. Caulfield from the point, delays, shoots, deflected just wide by Rem Pitlick. Rebound. Pitlick fights for it in the corner, but Graves kicks it aside to Pavel Zacha. And now the Devils will make their way the other way. Here's Dawson Mercer to the left side. Here's Zacha. Zaka. Let's figure out how to pronounce this once and for all. Allen out of his net to play it. Ahead to Suzuki to Pitlick through center over the line. Now here's Pitlick, but just out of his reach, swatted away by Severson. There's Zacha. Now shot by Romanov, stopped by Andrew Hammond, and he will glove it down for a face-off. Doesn't say how to pronounce it. Okay. That's not good. Oh, well. Anyway. So I have a face-off in the Devils zone now. Early in this third period will be Christian Dvorak winning it back to Clegg. Clegg D to D to Weidman. Weidman's shot gets deflected. They score! Christian Dvorak deflects that point shot home, and it is 5-2 Montreal. Christian Dvorak getting another goal. What is this? 5-2. That was a slick deflection, a nice shot pass deflection from Weidman to Dvorak. Dvorak did a great job getting it was PK Subban. PK deflected it in behind Andrew Hammond. No way. PK Subban scoring his first goal in 5 years for the Montreal Canadiens. I got to tweet that. And now here's Dvorak. Oh, he scores! That time, Christian Dvorak gives the Montreal Canadiens a 6-2 lead off of a breakaway. 6-2. 2 goals in the first 90 seconds of the third period. The Canadiens are up 6-2 now. What the heck? Indeed. Back-to-back goals in 90 seconds. Again, win or lose, man. These Canadiens are fun. They are fun. And it looks like we will get a goalie change as Nico Dawes is suiting up to take the net. Andrew Hammond chased by his former team. Habs are on fire indeed. His first goal. First. 6 years. First. So that's the thing. The Canadiens, once again, are being terribly outshot in this game. And then we'll go. Oh, now the Devils score. The Devils score. That is Ty Smith making it 6-3 now. Imagine if the Devils come back after all the trash that we talked to Leaf fans about blowing a 5-1 lead. Fun, 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 fun. So it looked like Allen just got fooled there by that shot from the point. I got to update the score ticker again. 6-3 now for the Montreal Canadiens. Anderson throws it into the corner, taken by Dougie Hamilton. Again, it's a 3-goal game. Habs have got this. I don't know. I don't know if we, again, whatever. I'll just mind off the standings, mind on the game. Because we don't really want the Habs to get this, but either way. So the Devils are a little close to the Canadiens in terms of the standings. But either way, back the other way, here's Josh Anderson. Anderson to Hoffman. Hoffman slaps it around the boards to Suzuki. Suzuki falls. Knocked down there by Jesper Boqvist. Good job by Anderson to keep it at the line momentarily, and he intercepts it now. Anderson to Caulfield. Caulfield walks in, tries feeding Suzuki, but he was tied up, and the Devils go back the other way. But Wideman wins the race for the puck in front of Jesper Boqvist. Here's a pass ahead to Suzuki, but taken back by Kuokkanen. Kuokkanen loses it to Clegg, who stands him up. Puck is loose for Wideman. Up ahead, those are over 5,000 likes on this cast, guys. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Here's Cale Clegg getting the give and go D2D pass back. Here is Rem Pitlick ahead to Caulfield, but he loses it. Devils intercepted going back the other way. And here's Ty Smith banking it ahead, but intercepted by Dvorak. Now here comes Rem Pitlick to Gallagher. Gallagher, opposite side for Schoenemann joining the rush now. Schoenemann leaves it for no one. And that's a penalty in the offensive zone as Brendan Gallagher trips up his fellow number 11, Andreas Janssen, behind the net, getting his stick in the wrong place. He will sit for 2 minutes. The Devils go to the power play. Devils get their second power play of the game. So face off to the right of Jake Allen is won by the Canadiens and cleared the length of the ice. And the Devils will have to reset. Here is Dougie Hamilton. Pass ahead is, taken back by Zacha. And now over the line is Bratt. Bratt to the right wing. Shot is just wide by Dawson Mercer and goes all the way back to the Devils zone. So Dougie Hamilton will take the feed from his goaltender, Nico Dawes. And we'll go the other way. Dougie Hamilton ahead to Pavel Zacha. Zacha, Dawson Mercer. Now here's Bratt. Doesn't shoot. Bratt back to the point. Exchanges it with Hamilton. Here's Dougie Hamilton to the left side now. Nico Hischier to Mercer. Mercer on the doorstep. Stopped by Allen. Rebound is loose, but goes behind the net. And Edmondson gets it away from the front of the net for now. And Armia will take it out to center. Perhaps a mini shorthanded rush here for the Canadiens. Armia just waits and will elect to just kill time and try to keep it below the goal line. Doing a nice job on the forecheck, but finally he'll go off and Dougie Hamilton will lead the Devils power play the other way with 48 seconds to go. He's sure ahead, but he loses it to Corey Schoenemann, who clears it the length of the ice for another couple of seconds to be killed off by the Canadiens here. And now here's Zetterlund over the Canadiens line. Will just rim it into the corner. And is taken by Evans, and Evans will clear it all the way down the ice as there's 22 seconds to go here on this Devils power play. It'll be Dawson Severson leading it the other way. And another clearing attempt by the Canadiens. I believe that was Dvorak. 8 seconds to go on the power play, and that will do it for the Devils power play. Habs managed to kill off both power plays the Devils have had so far. 14 minutes to go, or just over 14 minutes to go here in the third period. 6-3 Canadiens. Devils looking to press and maybe draw within a little closer. Here's Subban at the point. Shot deflected, stopped by Allen. Rebound is cleared from the front of the net. And Suzuki will try to chase it down, but is kept in by Ryan Graves, though. And now here comes the Devils. Shot stopped by Jake Allen. AJ Greer went to that glove side, but Jake Allen read him all the way and gloved it down for a whistle. My tweet, by the way, is at 29 likes and 7 retweets in 5 minutes. So I think I just tweeted out a viral tweet, which is good. Worked really hard at that. Thought about it for 30 seconds and thought it would be a good idea to tweet out. So there you go. But yeah, I'm honestly hoping I could maybe get on Twitter again, especially when maybe when Justin is on, maybe I'll try to get him on Twitter as well. I'll just have to make sure that the ColorCast link is stable, which it wasn't last time, which I think is more of a ColorCast issue than a Twitter and ColorCast issue. I'll just need to make sure that it is working. Yeah, just was thinking about how I'd get it to work. Yeah. We'll simulcast on Twitter, YouTube, and no, just because also like my following is mostly on Twitter also right now. So kind of want to let them know that I've been casting these Habs games and not, completely MIA. But yeah, either way, again, this has been exciting hockey. And oh yeah, so just going back to the, I referenced actually Pat Nadeau is one of the guys who responded to my tweet there. One of the Au Balotage. I think he's the producer. He's one of the members of the Au Balotage podcast, and I believe he's technically their producer. But yeah, so they're saying how when they're talking with Marc Dumont, how Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon are taking the approach that this is also the entertainment business, and that when you go to the Bell Center to watch a Habs game, they want fans to be entertained. As a quick shot here by AJ Greer gets deflected off of a leg, kept in by Kuo Cannon. And but here is Cale Clegg with a pass to Ilonen, and Jake Evans will take it out to center, backhanding it ahead to Poehling, to Ilonen. Nice pass by Poehling to the net. Poehling, wraparound attempt, and it is just knocked away by Ty Smith, as Poehling had a chance to wrap that around, but Ty Smith, good defensive play to recover from his positioning and swat it or just cut off Ryan Poehling on that wraparound attempt. Now here's Cale Clegg to start things up the other way for the Canadians. He is just waiting for changes to be completed from behind his own net. Long outlet pass to Tyler Pitlick, gets turned away. And I think it is offside. Yeah, it is offside at the Canadians' line as the puck went in for a second while a Devil was already there. So we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. So Dvorak does not win the faceoff. He sure wins it, but Armia on it right away will flip it into the corner behind Nico Dawes. D-to-D pass by the Devils, taken by intercept actually behind the net. Dvorak, the shot from a dead angle, almost deflects in, and now a scrum from behind the net. Subban wins the battle, just backhands it ahead to Jesper Bratt, leading a 3-on-2 rush. Bratt to Hischier. Hischier shoots over the net. Hischier was in a prime scoring spot to bury that one, but he throws it just over the net. Now here's David Savard to Schoenemann. Schoenemann and out of the Canadian zone, out to center. Long pass for Gallagher, who's able to handle it. Not much help for him, though. He'll just throw it in behind the Devils' net and go off for a change as the Hoffman, Evans, and Anderson line jumps into the mix. Here's Subban. Subban dumps it and off the deflection to the Canadian zone, taken back by Romanov, though, D-to-D with Joel Edmondson, up ahead to Hoffman. Hoffman through center into the Devils zone, loses the handle on the puck, though, taken back by Dawson Mercer, but Edmondson right there to take it right back. Gives it to Romanov and back to Edmondson, ahead to Hoffman and into the Devils zone, deflected in. D to D from Ryan Graves up ahead to the half wall. And now here comes Yegor Sharangovich and a pass across to Mercer behind the Canadiens net. Another pass back to Tatar all the way to the point. Shot by Graves is stopped by Allen, taken back by Dougie Hamilton. Now here is a pass to the front, intercepted by Hoffman, almost kept in by Hamilton, but puck makes its way back to the neutral zone. It'll be slapped in by Ryan Graves. Right there is Cale Clegg to play it. Again, under 11 minutes to go here now in the third period. Rem Pitlick up ahead for Caulfield, just out of his reach, and it does not go for icing, though. Here's Suzuki behind the net in front to Rem Pitlick, but he just fed on the shot, and Zetterlund will turn things back the other way for the Devils. 4-on-2 entering the Canadiens line with the back checker. Now here's a shot by Janssen, blocked. Rebound is taken by Caulfield. He loses his balance for the moment, which slowed him up, but Caulfield flips it ahead for Rem Pitlick with a little bit of space. Pitlick has to take a hit from McLeod, and finally the Devils are able to get it out to center, but Savard turns it back the other way. Here's Suzuki back over the Devils line to Caulfield. Caulfield with a nice move. Caulfield in front. Tries a dead angle shot stopped by Dawes, but the net comes off, so we'll have a whistle. Nice little move there by Caulfield, who created some time and space for himself, but unfortunately just did not have enough of an angle to beat Nico Dawes. That was a nice backhand feed by Suzuki. I think Caulfield actually did maybe have a chance to, I think he wanted to put it a little bit more over the shoulder of Nico Dawes, but he could not quite flip it up. And that's how Dawes was able to make the save with his pad from a dead angle. Ryan Poehling will win the faceoff back to Romanov. Romanov in a battle there with Janne Kuokkanen. Taken back by Poehling. Poehling gets it to Romanov. Romanov keeps it in. Flips it into the corner. Taken by Ilonen. Ilonen puts on the brakes. Back to the point. Shot by Edmondson. Gets knocked down by Dougie Hamilton. Dougie Hamilton looking for the stretch pass. And it's a little too far, though. Allen out to play it behind his net. It was a little too far there for A.J. Greer. Back the other way come the Canadiens. Here's Ryan Poehling over the line. Poehling just will throw in a weak shot behind the net. A rebound off the crossbar. I think that went off the crossbar from the right wing there by Jesse Ilonen. And now Poehling tries to get it ahead. Taken back by Sharangovich. Sharangovich takes it in the corner. Gets knocked off the puck by Edmondson. On it is Romanov now behind the Canadiens' net. Under 10 to go in the third period. Romanov will just take his time to wait for changes to be made, and we'll finally go for the stretch pass out to center. Gallagher to Armia now in the Devils zone. Shot by Armia's over the net. And way back to Cale Clegg, to Weidman, and up ahead to Armia. Now taken by Nico Hischier. Hischier drops it off for Bratt. The middle of the shot, it gets deflected front rebound, and they score! Jesper Bratt. Jake Allen got a piece of it with his glove, but it banks in off of his glove, and the Devils have now made it 6-4 with 9:01 to go in the third. Yeah, the Devils came in, entered the zone there with a lot of, with an odd man rush, and there was a Habs player who fell again. Have to see another angle to see who it was, but Jake Allen got a piece of that backhander by Jesper Bratt. And but not enough as it banks in off of his glove. Tatar gets another assist off of that. And it just banks in off of Jake Allen's pad and glove and in. So it is 6-4 now with under 9 minutes to go here. So here's Jake Evans. Man, I just don't want the Habs to blow this lead because I don't have to hear from Leaf fans. Hoffman with a quick shot stop. Rebound. Oh, just knocked wide by Josh Anderson. Now here's Jake Evans. We'll be forced back out to center. Here is Chris Weidman flipping it back into the Devils zone. Again, 6-4, under 8.5 to play here in the third. At this point, I don't want the Canadiens to blow this because I don't want to hear it from. I want to be able to tell my Leaf fan friends that the Canadiens can hold on to a 4-goal lead, even though they're in last place. And this time, Allen gloves it down from far out, frustrating Dougie Hamilton. I don't know why it frustrated him that much, but either way, 6-4 with under 8.5 to go here in the third, and we're at a commercial break now. Whew, 6-4. 6-4. What are the shots on goal at this point? They are 36-21. Allen is 4 saves away, and no 4 saves and no goals away from having a 900 save percentage in a game where he gave up 4 goals. So yeah. Let's look at the ice times at this point. Let's look at the plus minuses. I mean, that's a great way to. I think I would rather if I like Corey Schooneman, but I think we've also are reaching a point where I'd rather see Jordan Harris play over Corey Schooneman. Because Corey Schooneman, I think, is under contract for another year, is he? Let me see. Crap, I have to close this tab now. Let's open it here. Corey Schooneman cap peak or cap friendly. No, he's only under contract for another year, but he'd be an RFA. So, oh, sorry about YouTube comments that I have to get to. Sarah, go Habs, go lol. Mike, the first time you said 6-4, you sounded 6-4. Yeah, just realized that before. There was a time in the game where I said 6-4, like a New Yorker, 6-4. Maybe it's because this is a game in New Jersey. I don't know. Defensive zone face-off in the Canadiens' end is won by Suzuki and banked out, but actually kept in at the line by Damon Severson. Here's Jesper Bratt now putting on the brakes. Bratt to Severson. Severson banks in the opposite corner for Ryan Graves. Behind the net now is Sharangovich being watched by Savard. Sharangovich in escapes. Sharangovich gets it to the point. Severson walks the line, shoots just a little wide. Maybe it was a shot pass for Hischier. Now it gets back out to the slot, and the shots just goes wide. Now here's Corey Schooneman. We'll flip it out to center. Knocked down by Ryan Graves. Graves will bank it off the boards and out. And here's a one-on-one with Nico Hischier putting on the brakes on Corey Schooneman, leaving it for Janssen. Janssen to the front of the net, stick checked by Suzuki. And that's an example where I mentioned before where Suzuki sometimes finds himself a little out of position in the defensive zone. There he was in perfect position to cut off that pass intended for Sharangovich because he was in a perfect position to one-time that one on net. So we'll have a face-off in the Canadian zone now with Jake Evans in front of Sharangovich. It is won, or actually that was Pavel Zacha, won by Zacha, but the puck makes its way all the way back to the Devil's zone. Here's Dvorak forechecking on Subban. Armia gets there. Armia on it now. Armia gets finally caught up with Subban, who gets it across to Ty Smith, his D partner, to Tatar and out. Here is now Dawson Mercer, but he loses it to Brendan Gallagher. Gallagher tries getting to his forehand, loses it. Shot from the point. Now in the Canadian zone is blocked. And Romanov wins the battle, comes out with it. Gets it ahead to Dvorak, and now perhaps a 2-on-1 with Romanov. Dvorak delays with Tatar. He'll just leave it there for Gallagher. Gallagher off the side of the net to the other side. Here is now Cale Clegg. Cale Clegg scores! Cale Clegg from a dead angle beats Nico Dawes, and the Canadiens have now scored 7 goals to make it 7-4 here in New Jersey. So they just decreased their chances of blowing the 6-2 lead, which is nice. Again, it just beat Nico Dawes from a dead angle, and that's why the good old saying of just put the puck on net, you never know. Well, that's where it's like you're out of space. Just put the puck on net, and you never know. And that is another example. Let's see. Yeah, that's where, look, the reverse. Trying to think. Yeah, because that's where the when you go in the reverse VH, your center of gravity is going sideways as opposed to straight down. And now here comes Evans over the line again. Evans' shot gets deflected by Ryan Graves. Down the Devils zone. Devils leave their zone, though, with Jesper Boqvist. Boqvist over the Canadiens line, gets stopped up. And a race between Evans and Graves. Evans can't quite get there. Here's Boqvist over the Canadiens line. His shot goes over the net and out of play. So we'll have a whistle in the Canadian zone. That's why, again, as a goaltender, I just didn't get into his reverse VH position because he's sliding into his reverse VH position, which created that space from a dead angle, which is how Clegg beat him. Simple. Now here's a shot from the point, is just wide. Shot by Severson. And now the pass is just too far for and taken back by Jake Allen and Corey Schooneman, D to David Savard. David Savard and up ahead. Now here is Ryan Poehling dumping it into the Devils zone, giving chase to Elonen. Also, Tyler Pitlick gets there. Quick pass shot by Romanov is blocked. And now perhaps a chance here for AJ Greer, but he gets watched. Tyler Pitlick made a really nice back check to cut him off. And the ensuing pass goes out of play with under 5:18 to go in the third period. Once again, 7-4 for the Devils in this crazy high-scoring game. A crazy but fun high-scoring game. But credit the Devils for coming back, or for trying to come back. I mean, it's at 6-4 right now, but nice. That's why you never give up. And look, it's still 6-4, and Canadians are a last place team. So who knows? Definitely making it close the same way the Canadians have made it close in all these games. So the one game the Canadians had no chance in since, there's the Sabres, Blue Jackets, and Washington game in the first 3 games that St. Louis took over. But since then, the one game that the Canadians were just out of it completely was Carolina last week, and that's it. That's it. Apart from that, Habs have been in almost every single game. So the Devils got another one, though. It'll be an exciting finish. It will be an exciting finish. We also saw Evans and Dvorak on the ice at the same time, with Evans taking the face-off to the right side. It's not uncommon to put two centers out there in case one of them gets tossed, of course. But just looking at ice times here by the defenseman. Schooneman's at 19:42. Weidman's at 15. Clegg's at 17. Romanov's at 20. Edmondson's at 19. So, again, good balance used by the defense here. Over 7,000 likes also, guys. So, really, really appreciate the support here on this cast. We're back with the face-off to the left of Jake Allen. Face-off is won by the Canadians. Romanov on it and flips it right out ahead to Jesse Elonen, but too far, taken back by the Devils. Here's Jesper Bratt. Little shimmy there. And gets it into the zone off of the deflection by Sharangovich. And back the other way come the Canadians, though. Here's Josh Anderson. We'll just flip it into the Devils zone, giving chase for Elonen. Dvorak out front, but no one there except Subban for the Devils. Now here comes Nico Hischier through center on the right wing. Hischier on the backhand towards the net, but Jake Allen quickly gets his glove on that one to avoid any further confusion in front of the nets. And we'll have a face-off to his left. Feel bad for PK Subban and his it's the back that's been really giving him issues and has really forced him to decline substantially over the last couple of years of his career. Or else a reunion with Montreal could have been a lot of fun. It could be a lot of fun, but he's not quite the player he once was. Although he has a goal in this game, just for the wrong team. Intercepted by Ren Pitlick. Quick shot off the post. Ren Pitlick actively jumped in to intercept that breakout attempt by the Devils, but fired it quickly just off the post. Now here's Suzuki taking it on the right wing. Suzuki tries feeding Pitlick, but it's a little too far for him. Devils re-enter the Canadian zone. Here's Suzuki to Weidman. Weidman rims it around the boards, knocked down by Pitlick. Passes a little too far for Clegg. Clegg, his pass gets intercepted by Damon Severson. Severson up ahead for Dawson Mercer. Too far. Allen out to play it, and the Canadians don't quite get out. Kept in at the line by McLeod. Now here is Zacha. Loses it to Suzuki. Suzuki will just bank it off the boards and go off for a change. Taken out by Ty Smith. Ty Smith the other way. Gets cut off by Jake Evans. And now Jake Evans with perhaps a breakaway. Evans in a lone shot, but glove saved by Nico Dawes, denying Jake Evans, who forced a turnover in the neutral zone off of Ty Smith. Got a breakaway, but could not solve Nico Dawes to the glove side. So Suzuki and Pitlick, again, just combined for a really sneaky turnover there in the zone. And then Jake Evans just cut off Ty Smith. Again, sneakily cut off Ty Smith. Just Jake Evans is turning into the perfect. If he could be your third-line center, he is the perfect third-line center. So pass gets cut off by Hoffman. Anderson on the forecheck as well. Shot towards the net, stopped by Nico Dawes. Taken back by Subban. Up ahead to Jesper Bratt over the Canadiens line. Bratt cuts to the middle, leaves it for Graves. His shot gets deflected. He's sure on it now. Gets knocked off the puck by Savard. Evans rims it around to the opposite side where no one is there for New Jersey to keep it in the Devils, in the Canadian zone, rather. Under 3 to go here now in the third. Graves will just start things up the other way for the Devils. Slow and surely. Here's Subban up ahead, deflected into the Canadian zone. Armia now behind the net, trying to get away from Janssen. Janssen, good job on the forecheck, almost forced a turnover. Edmondson swats it ahead to Dvorak. Dvorak and out off of a Canadian stick. And now here is Gallagher over the Devils line to Armia in the corner. Armia on the forecheck, trying to keep it out of the way of 3 other Devils, but the Devils do recover. Here's Hamilton ahead to AJ Greer, and now getting it back from Graves. AJ Greer over the Canadiens line now into the corner, trying to push Gallagher off the puck, but he gets it to Janssen, gets it back from Janssen, and Romanov right there to recover that loose puck. Gets it to Armia. Armia will delay in front of the forecheck by the Devils, and Romanov will get some time and space behind Jake Allen's net to wait for some changes to be made as we are now under 2 to go here in the third. Romanov will start the breakout to Gallagher, rather to Tyler Pitlick. Pitlick over the Devils line. Pitlick pass in front, stopped by Nico Dawes, was deflected off of a stick and ends up to Ryan Graves. And Nico Dawes, rather, and he covers up for a whistle. That was Tyler Pitlick's shot towards the net, got deflected off of Ryan Graves' stick, which is what made it a little bit tricky for Nico Dawes, but he was able to handle it. Ensuing faceoff is won by the Devils, taken by Damon Severson. Severson banks it off the boards. Long stretch pass intended for Dawson Mercer. Allen gets there first, though, and he banks it off the glass and all the way down the ice, and that will go the distance for an icing with exactly 90 seconds to go in this one. Just a look. The Canadians were... Jake Allen, again, if it wasn't for that really strong second period by Jake Allen, this would be a much more difficult game for the Canadians. It's already been a pretty tough game, at least for them in the second, where they just could not get anything going, but the chances they got, they buried, and that's how they are able to, that could have been too many men. That's how they essentially cruised to the 7-4 victory. Back the other way. Here's Tyler Pitlick leaving it for Caulfield with speed through the middle. Caulfield shoots. I think that went off the shoulder of Nico Dawes. The Devils cleared all the way down the ice for what could be another icing. It is another icing. 55 to go now in the third. So now a face-off in the Devils zone with Suzuki in front of Hischier. Suzuki does not quite win it. It's won by, well, actually, Pitlick gets on it quick, who backhands it across the other side. The Devils get it all the way up, but once again, it goes a distance for icing. So I have another face-off back in the Devils zone with 45 seconds now to go. So it'll be Ryan Poehling in front of Nico Hischier. Poehling wins the faceoff back to Schoenemann. Schoenemann, D to D to Savard. Savard towards the front of the net, stopped by Dawes. Rebound taken by Hischier quickly, but his stick check gets checked by Poehling. Puck comes back in front to Subban, to Hischier, and Hischier with a little sidestep on Ylonen. Back to Subban. 27 seconds to go now. Devils get the puck in the Canadian zone. Here is Savard across to Schoenemann. Schoenemann will bank it up and out. Subban intercepts it. Schoenemann back D to D to Savard. 12 seconds to go here now. Savard and Schoenemann will play a little pitch and catch. Maybe Schoenemann will go for one more breakout attempt. And it actually goes the length of the ice for an icing. So we'll get another face-off. Or actually, no, they wave it off. And the Canadians win this one 7-4 in New Jersey against the Devils. After, again, a second period where they were dominated early on, but they survived. Jake Allen with a phenomenal game. And the Canadians with again, 7 goals, 2 points each from Caulfield and Suzuki. Dvorak gets Clay gets three points from Cale Clegg, 3 points from Christian Dvorak, and 3 points from Chris Weidman, 2 by Caulfield and Suzuki each. But either way, the Canadians take care of business in New Jersey. And in terms of the standings, they climb a little closer to the Devils out of last place. And Arizona, does Arizona play tonight? Seattle's actually beating Chicago 1-0, so that's awesome. Arizona plays Vancouver in Arizona, so we got to cheer for Arizona to win that game. And the Devils the Canadians draw to within now league. They draw to within 3 points of the New Jersey Devils out of last place with the regulation win. So gotta hope they can manage to finish out of last place. Mike, did you get your tickets yet for the home opener? I did off of gametime.co. Been handling so many tickets to the home opener. Yeah, I can imagine there are a lot on Vivid there, Sarah. I unfortunately had to get them off gametime.co because just there was a pair of tickets behind the plate high up for the Jays home opener tomorrow that I just could not refuse. So I ended up getting those. But either way, guys, hey, we're over 8,000 likes on ColorCast. Thank you so much for tuning in. And the Canadians, they win 7-4 in New Jersey. Climb a little bit out of last place pending the Arizona and Seattle games tonight. But thank you so much for joining us on ColorCast and on YouTube. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next time.